Folks, David here on the Vintage Future once again. Hey, I'm just, going to be doing this for a while, doing these reviews and stuff in my car because that's what my schedule allows. So pretty exciting, a little different, but still very cool. Today, I want to do a review on my Barbour jacket, my Barbour Ashby. I'm not going to do a full-on review where I cover all the little details of the jacket, the specs and all that, and fully analyze it. And the reason is this jacket is a massive legend among garments, and it's been covered very, 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 very well by many others already. Not just on YouTube. Like, there is YouTube. You've got CRD, the Iron Snail, Stridewise, and a bunch of other like smaller channels like my channel. Tons of people have covered this jacket. There's tons of coverage on this garment. You don't need me to go through and give you every little spec and detail. And if you just Google it, there's also tons of articles, even outside YouTube, because as I said, it's a legend. It's kind of like the Levi 501 jean. It's kind of like the Stetson Open Road, right? It's like the Timberland boot. It's like everyone's covered this, okay? So I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to talk to you about like how I got it, what do I like about it, why I think it's so cool, and all that stuff. Okay, so the way I heard about it was I'd like seen them before, but I didn't really know what it was. And my friend Jeff, Denim Dentist on Instagram, he was starting to get into Ivy style, and I kind of followed him, a few months later into that, and have really been enjoying Ivy style. Also some of the influence from respected friends on the Stitch Down Discord. But he had this Barbour jacket, and he's like, you should get one. I'm like, what is it, And he's like, you don't know what a Barbour jacket is? And I'm like, well, I've kind of seen them and stuff, but is it special? And he's like, just look it up. So I start to look it up, and yeah, I come to realize this is a legend. It's a legend, okay? So I don't have all the history perfect, but John Barbour, that's Barbour, John Barbour, he's a Scottish gentleman from the 1900s. And he had created this jacket and a lot of other things, outdoor wear, before things like Gore-Tex and modern, active wear that you would find at like whatever it is, North Face, Columbia, Patagonia. Before all that, this is the kind of thing people would wear outside. And so he invented a lot of stuff, made a lot of stuff. But one of the things he was really known for was these like oiled canvas jackets. And on the inside, he would put, and they still have it, his family tartan, the plaid, because that's like the Scottish thing. So, yeah, really cool. Gained a lot of popularity to the point where the company Barbour has several royal warrants. So the way it works in the UK, the way it works in England is, the royal family can buy whatever they want. They don't need to give a royal warrant to something, so they can just walk into the store, buy whatever they want. But often what they'll do with any product, it's not just clothes. Like, it could be, as far as I know, like food. It could be cars, right? It could be anything. But when the royal family finds something that they really like, and it doesn't have to be something from their country, right? It could be something in like Brazil or whatever. When they find a product or like food, a restaurant, an automobile, a piece of technology, whatever it is that they really like, one of the highest honors they can bestow is they give their stamp of approval in the form of what's called a royal warrant. And then when they do that, the company, the proprietor, like whoever they are, the chef, like I said, I don't know if it's food, but whatever it is, they are now allowed to put this, the symbol, the emblem of that person. So the Duke of Edinburgh has a certain symbol, that the Prince of Wales, the Queen, they have each their own like symbol. They can put that symbol on their item that they're making, their product that they're offering, and say, by authorization of the Duke of Edinburgh, this has a royal warrant. Yeah, so it's like a stamp of approval. It's like saying like the British royal family loves my product. And so, man, marketing doesn't get much better than that. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't matter what it is. Like, if I was making toothpicks and selling them in the grocery store, And I could tell everybody like, hey, the Queen of England likes my toothpicks. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. So, yeah, these jackets have that. I have several of them, and you can see them on the inside of the jacket, which I think is fascinating and extremely cool. If you look at social media, the news, you will see the British royal family wearing these jackets, like all of them, when they go spend some time in the country, pheasant hunting, horseback riding, walking around, whatever it is that royals do out there. They're wearing these jackets oftentimes. So that hooked me as well. So I got kind of caught up in the lore. That's kind of the point of heritage clothing, right? Amikaji, or heritage in general, it is the lore, you know. So that was great, the legacy there. But they also look great. So then it was like, okay, which one do I get, and how do I get one? Because, you know, been trying to like not spend much recently. So yeah, I'm looking on the used market for like trades and cheap buys and stuff, and was able to work out a deal with one of my buddies on the Stitch Down Discord. But leading up to that, it was like, okay, there's a few. There's the Beaufort. I don't know how to say that one. You can tell me in the comments. Is it Beaufort or Beaufort? It's like a longer jacket. There's the Bedale. And then there's the Ashby. The Ashby's like the more modernized one. It's like slimmed out. They try to hit that modern aesthetic. It's not the classic jacket. And it's got some differences, like it's got seams down the shoulders instead of having like a single piece shoulder for maximum water repellency. So, you know, there's some downsides. And they're made in Macau, which those people do a great job and all, but like all the other ones, like the Bedale and the Beaufort, those are made in the UK. So I'm like, which one of these? Well, since I'm getting on the used market, it was like, honestly, I think I want the Bedale or the Ashby. But I determined with sizing that I wanted it to be a bit oversized, because that's the point. This is an outer shell. This is not an inner shell, which is why a lot of people don't like the Ashby, because they're like, well, like, why would you slim this out? It's an outer shell. You're supposed to be able to put stuff under it. So I thought to myself, if I get an Ashby, I want like a size large. I'm usually a size medium, so I don't want to go true to size with the Ashby. I want to go with a large, so it's a little oversized. And then with the Bedale, which is a bit bigger anyways, I could probably go true to size. And I was able to work out a deal with a buddy on the Stitch Down Discord, like I said, and ended up with the Ashby in the olive color. They've got some other colors you'll see and stuff, but I really wanted that olive color because I love olive. Anything that's like olive load-in, it's, to me, like the perfect, most attractive earth tone. I love it. I love it. Can't have enough garments with olive in them. So yeah, as far as fit, like, just totally feel like I nailed the fit. It's a bit big, it's a bit oversized, but that's kind of the point for me anyways. I've seen guys wear the true to size or even size down and have it all slimmed out, and like that can look cool too, but it looks a little modern for me. I don't really want to look fashion forward. I want to look classic, stylish, you know? So that was cool. As far as the features I like the tartan on the inside. I really like the pocket layout. I like how you can like store things in those big cargo pockets on the front, and then there's those like slash pockets for your hands, the hand warmer pockets. They have moleskin on the inside, which is super soft, and it's really comfy and cozy to put your hands in there. They're a bit high, but when you don't want to put your hands that high, you just put them in the other pockets, you know? I really love the corduroy collar. In fact, it's funny, as you look at this jacket, which is a classic jacket that most other jackets like it are based off of, you can see some heavy influence in my Patagonia barn coat, like the corduroy collar, like some of the stuff with the pocket layout, you know? It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of where they got it. So I like that. The little like throat latch thing that hangs down from under the collar, I probably will never use that, but I think it looks really cool, so that's another feature I really enjoy about this jacket. And then, of course, just the fabric itself is so freaking tantalizing. It's a really satisfying fabric to wear. A lot of fabrics have no life, no soul, no personality. It starts out just this really dark, deep, sort of an olive color, but it actually looks almost like a deep mossy green at first when the wax is all intact, because it's like this cotton canvas that's impregnated with wax, the special Barbour wax that they have. And then once you start wearing it, it begins to wear off in certain places, obviously the parts of high wear. So it's almost like the same effect as indigo raw denim, like that. Like the wax starts to chip off in the same way that the indigo starts to chip off of your jeans. And so then you get this multi-tonal appearance, aesthetic. It's just like so cool. So you end up with like some of those deep, dark, mossy forest green colors. In the darkest spots, it's almost black. And then from that all the way to like a true olive. And it's all kind of like marbled together. So cool. So because I'm in California and I don't really need the maximum water repellency, we don't have that much rain here in the Bay Area, I'm probably not going to re-wax it for a few years. And I'm just going to enjoy that worn-in look for a while. But I will eventually re-wax it. I'll probably do it myself. It doesn't look that hard. There's videos online of how to do that. You just order some Barbour wax from their website and you apply it. But yeah, it's done really well in the rain. I have worn it in a couple downpours. And yeah, of course, it's not modern, technologically advanced water repellent fabric. So like if you just stand out in the rain forever, like, the rain is going to eventually find its way through. But, I mean, you've got plenty of time out in the rain before it does that, especially if you keep it well waxed. You could be out there for, I don't know how long, but 30 minutes in a downpour. So it, definitely keeps you dry. It could be an hour, it could be 5 hours in a downpour. I don't know. I'm just going off of what others have said. But from my experience, 0 water got in. Performed really well. Looked great. So you can buy some accessories for this thing, which I haven't gotten, but I think I will at some point. Maybe I'll ask for that for Christmas or my birthday or something. You can buy a few different kinds of inner liners, which if you want this thing to be warm, you should do that, because it's really just a thin outer shell. Like it really is like the rain flap on a camping tent. Like it doesn't offer any insulation. It literally just keeps the water out. So it keeps you just a little warmer than your undergarments, but your under layers. But if you want real warmth, you're gonna want to put this liner in, which will make your torso warm. And then you can buy a hood, which I also want to get, because that's the thing, is like I'm in the rain and my body's dry and then my head is soaking wet, right? So definitely want to get a hood, which you can snap onto it or snap off. Fantastic design. I like the fact that the collar is really big too. I didn't say that earlier. I just think that looks really cool, the big collar. And I like that it's kind of sloppy and floppy. It just kind of like hangs around. It doesn't need to be this like super sharp, micromanaged jacket. It just kind of like drapes everywhere. It's great. And the bottom of the Ashby, at least at one size up for me, is perfect because it's not way down low, so it's getting in the way of stuff, but it's long enough to kind of cover up like a sport coat or something if you wear a sport coat underneath it. And when you sit down, if you sit on a wet surface, it's covering your butt, so you're not going to get a wet seat. So that's really cool. So the last thing though would be the aesthetic of it. And I can see why this jacket is such a classic. I can't say this with hardly anything, but this is one of the only jackets where you literally could have just this jacket and it would do literally everything, other than the only thing it couldn't do would be like straight up black tie. All right, if you're going to a straight up black tie or white tie event, you're like literally meeting the Queen of England or something like that, then like yeah, of course, maybe you can't do that. But aside from that, it could do everything. People commonly wear it over a suit, and it looks the part. It looks good, as long as it's not all torn up. Obviously, an old, torn up, Barbour jacket can't do that. But if it's in good shape and it's been waxed and all that, it's not all ragged, you can wear it over a suit, and I've done that, and it looks the part. It looks correct. It looks kind of smart and proper enough to do that. You can also wear it with your work clothes. You can wear it with Western clothes, with cowboy boots and stuff, and it looks just like an oilskin drover. Like, I have a friend that's got a Western oilskin drover, and I wore mine. And the first time he saw it, he's like, "Oh, you got one too?" And I was like, "Well, no, actually, it's not. I used to have one." So I'm like, no, it's different. This is not like a Western thing. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's a little different. But it fits the part." You could literally wear it with Western wear. You can wear it with Amikaji. You can wear it with Ivy. It goes with like everything. Obviously, if you have some style that's, a bit more eclectic, then yeah, maybe it's not going to go with that. But I'm saying, like, any classic look, you can throw this on and it's going to work, even if it's not the absolute best. If you're going for like the Marlon Brando, James Dean, or like, yeah, the greaser look or something, like, obviously this is not the thing. You want a black cross-zip leather jacket, right? But I guess I'm just saying it never really looks out of place. Like, you can wear it with anything and it's never going to look out of place. So that's cool. And especially if you rough it up a lot, like it's kind of got worn in, then it doesn't look too nice to wear with, your rugged clothes and all that stuff. So, yeah, I just really love the jacket. I love the pockets, the features. It's super practical. It's easy to store because it is so thin, especially if there's no liner in it. You just like crumple it up. Like, yeah, it does everything. There's like nothing you can do to make it look bad. It layers really well. Yeah, like I've easily worn thick fisherman sweaters, and like, I'll have like a shirt like this, and then like another like overshirt on top of it, and then that jacket. Or I'll have like, yeah, my Oxford cloth button down with a sport coat, and then the Barbour jacket, and it just, yeah, like it does everything. And yeah, so I had said when I did my Patagonia barn coat review that at the time was like my favorite jacket of all time. And this is now sort of taking its place. I mean, I still have the Patagonia barn coat, and I love it, and I wear it all the time. But this kind of does everything that can do. So the only thing I wouldn't take this for, because I like to keep this nice, so it's like I wouldn't take this camping or whatever. I'm going to take my Patagonia for that. And so that's the nice thing about having both. But functionally, they both can kind of do the same thing. They both have a lot of pockets. I've got a place to put my wallet and my keys and like my beanie or whatever. And like, my kids like, "Hey, can you carry this toy?" And like stick that in the pocket. It's great. Carries everything. And it's big enough to where it covers it well. That's the other thing, is like, when you buy these jackets too small, when you go with that really slim trim, modern cut kind of thing, it just doesn't go well with what it is, right? Because you have all these pockets and stuff, and so you really want to be able to use those pockets. But when it's too tight, like, you can't put stuff in the pockets. But when it's big and relaxed, you can. So anyways, I think it's fantastic. I think you should check it out. You can buy one for a song on eBay. There's so many of them used. Just wait for the right deal, because if you buy them new, I mean, that's a lot. Like, I think it's like $400, But you could trade somebody for something if you're on a forum, or if you do have to spend money, easy, for like $150 or something like that. You could pick one of these up. I think, at least, like I was able to work a deal myself. So, yeah, really cool stuff, and I think you should check it out. So yeah, let your jacket take you to places more important than the jacket itself. We'll see you next time.